Welcome, y'all. Welcome. So, as you know, it's Thursday night. For some reason, my intro wouldn't play. My 30 seconds wouldn't come in. I don't know what's going on, y'all. I mean, I think it's time for me to get a new computer. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I need to do a GoFundMe, man, so I can get a new computer because it just, I'm tapping it. People messaging me. Am I missing something? I don't see nothing. They keep saying 30 seconds. Welcome, man. Welcome. Real Talk with the Six Man. Real Talk Live. This is our Real Talk Live edition on the podcast, man. Tonight we got a very special guest, and we want to spotlight the things that's going on inside the community. I mean, even though it's in DC, we like to spotlight it regardless, even though y'all know I relocated to Florida and I'm doing some things down here in Florida as well. But we like to say community meaning as a whole, just us trying to progress and be better. And, again, like my slogan, be better than we were yesterday. So if you like this content, man, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. We should have some people coming in the comments very soon. If not, I know they'll be coming soon. I'll bring my co-host on so we can get this thing started, man. I'm glad y'all came on here, man, for real. But game is on. I'm not gonna focus on the game because we not playing. Because last time we did this, Redskins got their ass kicked. Yes, I still say Redskins because that's why I was raised, not the command. I don't even know what the commander mean. I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what commander mean. It just seems weird to me. Amazing, don't it seem weird to say commanders? Like what is like what is a commander? Like what is
No,
it?
it does.
It
It's
seems
very
weird, right?
it's still strange to say that out your mouth like
Commander. Oh yeah, I'm a Commanders fan. No, I don't.
No, it's weird. It's weird.
Hey, see, listen. I try to do the 30-second, you know what I'm saying, like I normally do. Then do the intro. It ain't give me none of that. I'm just like, well, it is what it is. Don't get upset, man. Just it's time to invest in a new laptop. That's all, man. So, what's going on, man? It's Thursday. It's our night. You know what we do on Thursday night, man. How the week going so far, man?
I know the week is going good. It's Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. The weekend is to me it's Friday Eve. So
Right.
I'm feeling good this Thursday. I am. I mean, just to put out a shout out, it's Dale State's homecoming this weekend. So.
Oh yeah, I got a couple inboxes, a couple phone calls. Man, you coming to homecoming? Can't do it, bro.
I'll be there.
Can't do it. Yeah, just keep me in spirit, man. I mean, do I want to be there? Of course, but can I? I just can't be there. Sometimes, it just I don't know. Sometimes you just can't make it happen. Sometimes, man. That's all.
I got it.
No, it is what it is, man. So,
Definitely
other than Dale State, man, I mean, I know you say it's almost the weekend, but I mean, I always check in just how everything going. You feeling good? Mentally?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling positive. I'm just feeling good. Like I feel good energy around me. So.
Yeah, I got my little zinc candle in the background, trying to give myself a little, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to I ain't quite did the meditation yet, but I'm trying to get myself there though.
That's
fine.
fine.
Keep that positive, that positive vibe, man.
You'll be fine. Yeah.
Well, as far as me, I mean, like you say, it's Thursday, I mean, tomorrow's Friday. At work, it should be a light day. It shouldn't be too much going on tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, I don't think we got nothing planned. Ain't nothing, nothing too crazy going on. But I'm just hoping that we can get things rolling this weekend and maybe go to the beach if we can, or
wow, y'all can still go to the beach. That's
yeah. I mean, it's a little chillier. I mean, like it's been like in the mornings when I get up to go to work, it's roughly like 69 degrees, which is kind of chilly for us. But I mean, in the afternoon, it gets up to about 86, 87, which is still preferable to go to the beach, yeah, if you want to, yeah. So that I mean, I mentioned that's one of the things that's a perk for me, like especially around this time to be able to have sunlight and
October. What? Yeah, no,
so
y'all doing it,
man. I love it, man. So we're gonna dive right in, man. So you got us this guest, man. I mean, this website. I've been looking at this website, like I told him, for a couple of days. And it's perfect, man. I'm like, the stuff that they doing, man, I just felt like we needed to spotlight them on the platform so people can get an idea of some of the organizations that's in the community that's doing great work and what they doing. I mean, and based and what's behind it is a great story, and then it's a
Yes.
great impact on top of it. So,
Yes.
so we gonna
Yes.
bring, we gonna bring our guests in. I'm gonna step back because I know this is your boy, so I'm gonna step in, every now and then, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you do your thing with Vic. But we gonna bring our man guest in, man, Victor Terry, man. He is the director and founder of, is it
Fly by nature.
Fly by Nature.
Yeah.
Listen. I'm talking about this thing is different. And when I start diving into the website and looking, I was like, damn. Then I was pushing, you know what I'm saying, mission and content. I was like, everything flowing. I said, oh yeah, we gotta get this dude on the plane. We got, and the thing about it that I like, that I really like, he a homie. He just a dude that had a vision, went through
And
some shit, and was like, you know what? Let me try something different. And that's the thing that I
yep.
like to show people, that it don't matter where you started. It always matter how you ended up. So
Yes. Yep.
we gonna bring
Yep.
Vic
You
in,
are
man.
not your past. You are not your
We gonna
past.
bring Vic in, man. Welcome him to the show, man. See what's going on.
Yes.
Good evening. Thank y'all for inviting me and having me on tonight.
Victor, we are so happy to have you here. We were so honored really to have you here. So everyone, this is Victor Terry. He is CEO, like Kevin said, he's CEO, founder, executive director too of Fly by Nature, a nonprofit.
HNIC. HNIC.
Inc. Inc. Fly by Nature Inc., based in the Washington, D.C. area. And and how long have you been doing this? How long has, Fly by Nature been a thing?
We officially submitted our paperwork and got our paperwork back, and we filed in DC back in 2000, the end of 2016, but officially 2017.
Got it. So wow. So it's been, so you all have, you know enough years, and Victor, but you all have been doing, and it's just amazing to me. And I know I follow you on Facebook, and just everything that you do, from the charity work and all that, is just amazing. And I'm just so proud that you're giving back to the community, which is always good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I wanted just to dive in first and foremost of, how did this whole vision get started with you?
So I would have to say I would give all of the credit to my grandfather, who basically him and my grandmother raised me because of my mother drug addiction. So growing up in that household, and him being an ANC commissioner for Ward 5 CO8, also a community activist and also a founder of a nonprofit. He founded the Busy Bee Community Association back in 1982 in Washington, D.C. So
Hmm.
that was like my foundation. And
You say War 5, what area is that?
Obama Kelly Tech,
In Northeast.
Okay, so that's northwest or northeast?
Northeast, I think.
Northeast.
Northeast. Okay. Wow. 1982. So it seemed like it just ran in your family. It was just
Yeah.
natural for you to be doing something like this.
Yeah. I remember it was like 1990, might have been 92 or 3. He actually took a group of kids from the organization to out of the country to Sweden for 3 weeks.
Oh wow.
Wow. Your grandfather did. Now, how did that happen? Did the kids have to pay for anything, or did he pay for all their expenses?
Well, he was being, when you're ASC commissioner, that's like a elected position to be a
Mm-hmm.
representative of your neighborhood or community.
Mm-hmm.
So through he had relationships with Marion Barry, so he had all the help to be able to get DC government grants and all of that. And it's
That's what's
crazy.
up.
I still got some of the old paperwork from back then too.
That's what's up.
Really?
The mayor
That's
for life. That was
amazing.
our man, John.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And he was always, I mean,
Them summer jobs, man. I don't care what nobody talking about. Them summer jobs, man. When the summer hit, we was getting out of school. Jokers
yeah.
wanted to get that. I ain't get my letter yet. You get your letter? Yeah, man. I got my letter. They want me to meet them at man. You was trying to get them checks in. You hear me?
Yes.
That was the shit
Yeah.
back in the day, man. That was
My
the shit, man.
first Marion Barry summer job, I actually worked with youth at the recreation center, Edgewood Recreation Center, with Mr. Kenny. He was running the rec. So that was like
Mm.
my first Marion summer job.
My first Marionberry summer job was at DC General. I was a patient escort services where you like when people in the hospital got to go to like different therapy sessions or go to like different parts of the
Mm.
hospital. They would call downstairs. They would give me the room number and the patient. I would go pick them up in the wheelchair and take them to where they needed to go. I was like, dang, this joint's sweet. I ain't got to pick up nothing
I,
heavy.
but you know, those jobs were so. I mean, I'm telling you, I know my very first one was. Do you all know the organization Food and Friends?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that was my first one. I was just answering phones, but that's when they were over there in Southwest. Now that's where the Nat Stadium is, but they were
right.
right there where the Nat
Wow.
Stadium is right now. But I think now they're over like in Riggs Park somewhere, Food and Friends now. But that was my very first.
I mean, I thought it was good because it was like it took us out of our neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause
Yes.
you had to go meet and register, wherever they told you to come, whether it was Northeast or North. You know what I'm saying? So it got
No,
you
but
out. It
but for
got
me
you
it
out.
was.
Of the zone.
But for me, it was scary because I grew up in Shepherd Park, up in Northwest. I was like, yeah, gotta go where? I was scared.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But no, but it was a good experience, and it was a
yeah.
good like charitable experience too because I think what they try to do is kind of hook. I mean, people did get the government jobs and all of that good stuff too, but I do appreciate the nonprofits that will also partner with the
Right,
DC Youth because that did open my eyes a little bit more of like the giving part of the city too.
right,
So I am appreciative of that too as well
right,
here.
right.
So
Hey, so Vic, so I was reading your testimony, man, and you was getting into, growing up with your folks, man. And I wanted you to dive in a little bit more and just give us, that backstory on, like what happened to you in your life where you made the decision where you wanted to create this organization.
I say the first inspiration was what I saw the youth that participated in the program, including myself, with my grandfather. Number one. Number two, just seeing how trauma can really disrupt learning. So that's what happened to me. So
mm,
I would go to school, and because back in the early '80s, this was when we had like some New York guys try to impede their way into the neighborhood and set up shop.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of turned into a war zone. So I remember, well, one of them actually got his brains blown out in front of my house, and my father had just pulled up and showed me, what I'm saying, before the ambulance and all that came.
mm,
So I would go to school. I would hide hardy. I'd be in that joint, be
mm.
zoned out, just seeing those images in my head. And when they passed me a test, I'm like, I don't remember. I don't even know what you said or nothing. So my grades from elementary to 10th grade, like, man, it was bad.
Because of that trauma and
But what do people call that though?
Trauma.
yeah.
So basically, when you experience a traumatic event, right? And let's say, for example, you see a red car come through, do a drive-by and kill somebody. So now I'm going to school. I see a red car. That red car going to trigger that event. So my
Mhm,
brain is going to send a signal to my body to get into fight, flight, freeze. So
mm,
now the body don't know that that's probably a elderly just on his way, to the grocery store. But the body actually thinks that it's another traumatic event is happening. So
Mm-hmm.
that's when that repetitive happens over a long period of time. That's when you start running into like heart disease, cancer, and a whole lot of other health issues that a lot
mm.
of our people in our communities go through.
Yes. And you know what, Victor, it's good that you say that because a lot of people think like certain diseases, especially like diabetes, heart disease, like genetic. But I just feel like it's the same trauma that happens to us. So therefore the next generation gets it and the next generation gets it. Because trauma definitely can fester disease in your body.
Mhm.
Stress can as well. So just imagine as a young, like how you said, like a young youth seeing that, and let's say you never like healed from it. Now you're 40 something, you know, how that can possibly affect you.
Yeah, definitely can. Because another incident what happened was we had someone that lived in the neighborhood that was like real cool with the family. Now we already got my mama that have this addiction issue in the household. So now my grandfather, because he's a good Samaritan, he want to help people. He let this other young man live in the household with a drug addiction.
Mm,
So this was actually when I was going to Hardy one
mm,
morning. Well, actually, I got into an argument with him the night before. Martin Lawrence. That was my show. I'm watching Martin Lawrence, and you turn the channel, so I cursed him out.
Oh,
And
you
then
went live on him. Okay.
I went in, but I
Went
felt
in.
the
Oh,
next morning I'm hearing like noise, like pots and pans. Like I'm thinking to myself, I'm a grandfather. He probably cooking breakfast because he get up extra early anyway. And me going to Hardy, I had to take about 5, 6 buses trying to get out
what?
there.
Bitch, we don't even want to talk about that. 5 or 6 buses going all the way to heart.
Yeah. So eventually, some
damn.
just told me, my intuition just said, just go downstairs and see what's going on. So I go downstairs. I'm walking. I see him laid out by the dining room table. So I'm just thinking he probably high, drunk or something. Probably fell asleep or something. So I'm trying to walk by him, and that's when I start feeling like the carpet was wet, but it was dark, so I didn't know what it was. So when I tried to walk by him, he just grabbed my ankle and was asking for help. John
Oh,
like scared the hell out of me.
oh, wow.
So I jumped, and then I was like, "Damn!" So I looked at my foot, and I had blood all on my feet. So I
Oh,
went
wow.
right upstairs to put on like some socks and some slippers. So my grandfather came back down.
Mm.
He asked me for a glass of water, so I went and gave him a glass of water. Then the ambulance came, and as they started cutting his clothes open, we started seeing like blood skeeting. So basically, they hit two arteries. They hit one in his neck, and they hit an artery in his leg. So he pretty much bled out. He died. So
Wow.
I didn't go to school that day. So
How
yeah.
would you? How would you be able to do that?
Wait, but I'm sorry, Vic. This was in the kitchen. This is in your kitchen.
Oh, no, it was in the dining room, but you can see blood from the back room, the kitchen, and where he collapsed in the dining room. I guess he was trying to make it upstairs to get help, but he didn't make it.
So maybe I missed something. What happened? Was it a straight bullet? Like what?
It's a cold case, unsolved murder. So I don't know.
Wow.
He
Whoa.
buy some money. Like, I
Because
don't
I
know.
was listening and I was trying to like wait till you say like, okay, he got stabbed or it was an intruder or, but
Yeah,
then
he
you
got
ain't say none
stabbed
of that. So I was like, okay,
over 30 times with a kitchen knife, the big joint.
what?
Jesus Christ. And so, see, and then I'm talking about, see, then those are young ages. 'Cause how old were you? How old were
I was
you?
in the 8th grade, still in
Wow,
Hardy. Yeah.
Damn. And
wow,
so this all had,
wow,
wow.
wow. Yeah, that's PTSD for real right there.
No, it is.
For
It
real.
is. And I know, okay, so okay, so now I'm about to go on a whole nother. So Victor, so with all this, how have you tried to heal from all this past trauma?
So basically doing research and also incorporating my lived experiences into the workbook that I got, and also using what I learned when I got certified as a youth mental health first aider.
Mhm.
That class was helpful, like teaching me all of the different like deep breathing techniques to like
Mm.
calm me down, and so just all the stuff that I've learned, doing research and stuff. So
Wow, is that something that we can get online?
yeah, it's a lot of information. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I might need to dive into that. But
Yeah.
even with this event, you had another event with somebody committed suicide.
Mm.
Oh yeah, one. Well, we actually one of our cousins. He lived with us named Kenny. He lived with us temporarily for a little while, but we didn't. I didn't know back he was gay, but the family knew he was gay. But back then it wasn't accepted, so nobody really talked about it. But he ended up committing suicide. But then the story that I have on the website was a little kid. I came across a news article in Ohio, elementary kid that committed suicide. I think he was 8 years old. So
Mm.
that kind of like struck a chord with me. And I started doing more research on bullying. And then once I started doing research on that, then all of the other things that kind of like coincide with it, I was like, well, you can't just teach kids one thing. You got to get the whole spectrum of
Mm.
skills and stuff they would need to navigate this world in these different environments. So
Yeah.
And
that's
so as I'm on your website, I think that's what struck a chord with me because I
Mm-hmm.
had a conversation with my daughter. She's 9. She'll be 10 next month. And she was explaining to me how some of the kids are in school.
mm-hmm,
And I was trying to explain to her, the differences between, being a good Samaritan or being somebody that's just a get wit just to be on the right side of popularity. And I was like, sometimes, you know, being popular is cool, but which side of popularity are you on? Because she was telling me that it was a little boy in her class and people was talking about him because he dark skinned and this, that, and the third. And as she's explaining it to me, she's telling me, yeah, this person would say this person would say that. So I asked her, I said, so what did you say? She was like, I didn't say nothing. I said, well, when the kids was, teasing him or whatever, did you say anything to your teacher? Did you say anything to anybody so the kids wouldn't tease him? She was like, well, no, I didn't think to do that. I was like, boo, sometimes, we have to have the courage to be that person, to be able to see something's not right, regardless what it may be, and
Mm-hmm.
not, have to, go in front of the class or, do it right then and there. But maybe, when you get your teacher's attention on their own and just say, hey, earlier I saw this, and this. And it don't necessarily have to come from you, but at least you did something good to
Mm-hmm.
protect a student because students are mean. Like when I was in school, I mean, I got bullied. I got
Mm-hmm.
beat up. I mean, I got a whole story about, getting beat up and I got tired of it. And then I ended up buying a gun and I was in elementary school. So, I mean, just hearing about your grandfather and then your cousin who was gay, and I know that can be a whole different story. And then this child, that committed suicide, because they was being bullied, and even kids on the internet. I mean, I've heard cases where kids actually come home and are terrified to go online because these kids are talking about them and
Yeah.
they don't talk to their parents. They keep everything to themselves, and they end up in their room doing something to themselves. And I think that's the worst feeling to feel like nobody is there to protect you. So I try to explain to her that in those situations, she has to realize that doing the right thing in that situation is the only thing. And if that is
Mm-hmm.
to tell the teacher or to let somebody know, it's not that you a tattletale. It's not that you this little kid is going home and we have no idea what's going on with him. He might not be telling his parents. He might not have right? We don't know. So I was like, in that situation, you have to speak up. So it made me think about, when you spoke about the bullying situation because I know I mean again I know kids can be we were rough. I mean think about it. Were we
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
little when
Yeah.
somebody came to school and they had raggedy clothes and they ain't look right? I mean it wasn't right, but we did it. We laughed at kids that had less than us, and I was one of them kids. Sometimes I would take my brother's shoes and fold my socks up so I could put my feet in them. Man, I mean it is what it is. But I just feel like nowadays, like you mentioned, with social media when we were talking offline, social media is hiding everything to a
it's
different
magnified. I mean,
it's hiding to a
let's
different.
say if you get embarrassed at school, maybe 5 or 6 people saw it, but now someone can record it and it could go viral, and now millions of people talking about you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And those are the kids that tend to, commit suicide if something goes viral, now all of a sudden. Because I know, I want to say like last month, there was a 10-year-old, like I think that's the youngest I've seen, but a 10-year-old committed suicide because of a video that went viral at their school. I'm like, 10 years
Was it a young
old?
girl? Was it a little
It was a
girl?
girl. It was a
I remember
girl.
that. I remember that.
Yes.
I remember that. I remember listening to her mother speak. It's just sad. So I mean, with your foundation and what you do, man. Like after you figured out this is what you wanted to do, like take us kind of do the process and the steps, because I know right now you have to be, you have to be filled with some type of joy that you're impacting so many different kids, and we're gonna get to the kids, but like kind of tell us the process. I mean, not the paperwork and the logistics, because we kind of know all of that stuff, but kind of talk about the steps and how did it make you feel when you kind of started this thing.
All right. So what I did, first of all, you want to hear from the people. So I talked to a lot of parents, got their different experiences that they was going through at school or in the community or in their home environment. I talked to some children when they were by themselves and was only with us, and they got to share their experiences with their caregivers, parents, their experiences with their teachers and school staff. So one of the common threads that came up was there's a lot of kids that don't have a safe space to be able to
Mm,
express themselves to their parents or caregivers
mm,
because of the parent having bullying behavior or dismissing what they're
Wow.
saying or like, oh,
Mm,
toughen up, you go hit them back, like no,
mm,
no.
mm,
Now you about to start a cycle of violence, so you don't want to do that.
mm,
But they're not educated on how do you handle these certain scenarios. So what my organization did was first we looked at the youth risk behavior survey that the CDC, in partnership with OSSI, which is the school superintendent, and DC Public Schools. So a certain amount of schools offer to collect this data every year, and then the CDC does all the analyze it and creates a report. So this report will give you all of the trouble spots where children are experiencing at school, whether it's bullying, cyberbullying, uh, violence, gun violence, uh, having unprotected sex, like all of the things. So
mm.
you look at this report, and then you can look at the numbers, and you can see these are certain areas that we need to try to focus and get programs to kind of like attack some of these issues. So that's what I did. And then when you create a program, of course, you want to make sure you have a model to evaluate your program. So whether you're doing surveys pre and post, or it's good to get like a third party like we did to kind of like have that
Yeah.
platform to do it, so it's being done effectively.
because you want to collect that data to make sure it's,
Good
it's, it's
data, good.
working.
Mhm, mhm.
So
Wow.
if a program is no good if you can't show that it's effective and had
Right.
an impact. So
Right. And that's one of the things we learned when we got into the grant writing stage. And I say that's why we are at a point where we're learning at every step. Like we look at these grants and we like, oh wow, they asking for this. We need
it's
this.
never ending. I'm still learning. I'm always learning.
Wow. And I think the bigger picture is, we want to be, one of these organizations as yourself that want to help these kids, because we like. Can you imagine the trauma that just us three been through?
Mm,
Now the trauma that these kids are going through now. Times are different. Like you say, social media is a beast.
yeah.
It's a different animal, and it's like when we were younger, we didn't have that. So our trauma, like you said, was more direct. Like I've seen people get they shit split too. You know what I mean? At a young age.
Mm,
And it's like nobody told me I needed to go see a doctor. I just went smoke some weed and drink a little bit and thinking that's it. But then when I go in the house and go to sleep, I got all this shit
that's what
going on in my
you,
head.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm waking up like, what the fuck? And I mean, year after year after year, at the while, you what's the word I'm looking for? We compartmentalize this shit,
Mm,
and then years later something happens, like you say. You see a red car driving down the street, now you like, oh shit, and it might be nobody, but you just
the
remembering,
triggers.
that trauma, and it's crazy, man, because
Every
these
time
kids
that
now,
happens,
man, they need all the help they can get, man.
every
Yeah.
time that happens, the brain releases the chemicals, Adderall and all that stuff to prepare yourself to be injured, to try to save
Mhm.
yourself. Like your brain is like a protector, so it's put these chemicals out, and that repetitiveness over a long period of time, it's like too much, and that's what
It's too
causes
much.
all of the health issues. It's the chemicals
Yes.
just keep coming all the time, all the time, all the time. So
Yeah. Because I feel like, because naturally, I think in the body, it's supposed to just be like, you're supposed to be scared or frightened, like just for a short period of time, not stressed over, like how basically how we are now in society, just stress over and over and
like a
over.
light switch, it's supposed to come on, and
Yes.
then some people just don't know how to cut it off, and that's when I was saying doing like the breathing techniques and stuff that can calm the nerves down and get the
Mhm.
heart rate back to the normal rate and all of that stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean, I've gotten to the point now where I still like rap music, but I've been finding myself just listening to
Mhm.
R&B a lot more because
Yeah.
it's keeping me calm. Like I ain't told Angel yet, but I went through like a whole 30 days when people was cutting me off and I ain't curse, I ain't yell, I ain't scream, and I'm just listening to R&B and I'm just like, let that motherfucker go ahead. Let me just, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But if I'm listening to Scarface, I'm liable to pull up beside you, nigga. You good for bro? You know what I'm saying? So it's a funny thought, but it's a real conversation in terms of how music and how social media and all this stuff really impacts the thinking and
yeah,
how we react to it.
so music has a impact on your mood, especially when you're driving. If you listen to certain music, you look
Mm.
like, damn, I'm doing 80. I didn't even know.
Wow.
Right,
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
right,
yeah, and
right.
that's why if you think about everything, the brain don't fully develop till 25, but everything is targeted at young people that can be manipulated.
Yeah,
Everything.
Mm.
Why they put the candy right there by the cash register when you go in the grocery store?
yeah,
The rap music now. I mean,
yeah.
everything is
Everything.
getting in the gang, joining and putting all the tattoos on your face and all this stuff. You making decisions that can affect you the rest of your life, but you're not really like mentally there to make a good choice.
Yeah. No, and I definitely agree with you, Victor, on that, because I just feel like that's how it's kind of it's definitely sad. Like that's how society is just built now. Like it has to like manipulate you to, I guess, I don't want to say like to conform to it, but basically I feel like that's what society is now. It's just, even with this whole social media thing, and everyone's on social media, all the young kids on social media, even we're on social media too as adults. Like it's just all it's like that's what's riding, to me, society at this point. Social media is riding society. It's controlling it, to me, at this point.
So let me point out a comment from one of our viewers, Nadia. She said parents don't know how to handle conflict, therefore their children have the same experience.
I
That's
agree.
we actually teach that too, and we cover that conflict resolution stuff. We actually got one of the activities is called action and consequences, where we have a scenario written down in like different cards. They'll pluck the card, read the scenario, then they gotta make a decision. Then we can have a discussion on what was the consequences of the
Oh
decision that
wow,
you
I
made.
like that. I like that.
So
Okay.
we got to get to critical thinking because that's something that our
That's
kids don't have at all either.
no,
Everything
and it,
fast, make a decision, do this, do that. You don't got no critical thinking skills.
And even like what Nadia said, we as adults don't either. The parents don't either. So how are we teaching? How are we teaching our kids that? We're not. We're not teaching them that at all.
Yeah.
No,
And
we
So
not.
yeah,
and the
Well, I
problem,
can't say we. I can't say we. I'm just saying as a whole because I try my best to. Gianna came here for was it spring or was it spring? Summer? No, no. I'm just saying. What was the scissor? Was that spring or was that summer? That was spring. So my daughter came here for the spring, and she said that one of her favorite artists was Scissor.
hmm
And I ain't hip. I don't know these new artists. So I'm like, Scissor, okay. So I go and try to look up SZA. And, okay, let me see what's going on. So Angel was like, Gianna says this her favorite artist. I was like, yeah. She was like, you need to look up some of her songs. I said, okay. So I'm looking up the song. So she got a song. It's called Kill Bill. So I'm and you know what, iTunes, you can actually hit the button and it'll show you the lyrics. So
Mm-hmm.
the song is playing and I'm looking at the lyrics. I'm like, wait, what? So she come in the living room and I'm talking to her. I'm like, why do you like her? She was like, oh, I like her music. I like, and in my mind, I'm not thinking about not what she's saying. She likes the sounds
Yeah, she just
and
likes
not
the
necessarily
beat,
understanding
maybe.
what she's saying. So I think in hindsight, when I talked to her then, I wish I'd have took a little bit more time to think about Kevin. She's more listening to the sounds versus the words because she don't really know
Yeah.
what she's saying, right? But I was a little critical because I was like, listen, you cannot listen to her anymore. I don't want you to listen to none of that music. I said, if your mother lets you listen to this when you're at home, that's cool. But when you with me, you cannot listen to this. And she was like, why, Daddy? Why? Because you just cannot listen to this. This song, Kill Bill, is talking about killing somebody. And when I said that, she looked at me like, what? And right then and
She
there, I
probably
told
never
her like,
knew.
she didn't know.
Yeah, she didn't know.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so I'm just saying, even though she didn't know, I'm still like now I'm mindful. Like, what is she listening to? Roblox. A friend of mine inboxed me not too long ago and showed me this game where they got a boy and a girl in a room, and you know what they doing. And she was like, Kevin, this is on Roblox. Make sure you ask and see what your daughter is doing on Roblox. So it's unfortunate that I don't have the best relationship with her mother to kind of pick up the phone and call her and say, hey, let's watch this, let's watch that, because I don't know what she's watching and what she's not watching. But I wish we can get to that point so we can kind of be on point together for her. But nevertheless, when I talk to her, I try to always ask her, how was school, anybody touch you, what's going on, because even though I'm not in Maryland, listen, you got enough uncles and you got enough aunts and you got family. All I gotta do is pick up the phone and figure out what's going on. You know what I mean?
I forgot to mention another incident too, like, and this is important. So when we talking about parenting, we really have to like reimagine how we parent. For one, we have to be mature enough to understand, even though we may not get along or be on the same page or whatever, but the focus should be the child, not trying to uh turn a child against the one parent or the other, or I'm gonna do this out of the spite because my friend, my one of my good homies that I grew up with, I told you that he broke his neck. He had a daughter that, because his mom wouldn't let him have a relationship with his daughter, and she was also getting bullied in school, she tried to commit suicide several times.
Oh wow,
The last time they
Wow.
actually put her in a psych ward.
wow. How old is she?
She is 16 now.
Wow,
Wow. But
I'm
you
like,
see how that even plays into even that, like the relationships between the parent,
wow,
the two parents.
and this man pays child support every month, do what he's supposed to do, and I can't see my child. So
wow. And,
Mm,
and, how, and so, how does the mother feel about that? Like,
she
does she even
is that
think
part.
about it? Like,
have no remorse at all. Like, even when they found out the last suicide attempt, he stopped what he doing, got a ticket, flew to Seattle, Washington, went to visit her at the psych ward,
Wow.
brought her some stuff. The mom, in the military,
Mm-hmm.
she eventually comes home, but she don't go directly to the psych ward. She just doing whatever she doing. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
your daughter just tried to kill
That's
herself, and you
yeah, that
immediately go see your child like this. And the husband
wow.
was basically also abusing the girls too while she was out to sea.
Oh,
okay. Abusing them like how? Like
I don't want
sexually
to know.
or
I
just
don't want
Like
to know.
beating, like making them pull their pants down and bend over and beating them and stuff like that.
damn.
See. For me,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just keep it 100. That's all I can do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My daughter called me and tell me that happened, and it's a friend or man that her mother dealing with,
Mm.
hey Vic, can you see my face? It's not gonna go well at all, brother. It's not. Listen, I know I like to stay cool, calm, and collective, which that's my zone now. That's my lane. But I like we talked about earlier. I got another lane though. You don't want me to put that turn signal
Mhm.
on and get in that other lane. Cause I tell my girl all the time, I hope we never go out and I gotta get in that lane. Cause I
Right.
don't know how to bring myself back into this lane. You gotta literally like grab my boo, boo. Cause once I get in that lane, it's a wrap. But my baby, are you serious? Like
That's
just
ooh.
watching TV, watching social media, hearing what's going on. It's one of those things I pray about every day. Angel will tell you, I pray for the babies, cover our kids, make sure they
Yeah,
good. You know
yes,
what I'm saying? Because I
yes.
know for a fact that God covers the babies, and I appreciate it about that, about his spirit. But my daughter called me and tell me some shit like that happened, Slim. I ain't got no words for, and I'm not saying that I'm trying to go to get locked up or go to jail, but I do want my daughter to know that even though daddy might not be around all the time, when he show up, when some shit like
Yes.
that happen, he gonna show up. Daddy gonna show up, like for
Yeah.
real. So it kind of hurts me to hear that this is happening and this mother is just nonchalant, like, oh, it's
And
whatever. That's
and
that's
then
crazy.
and then almost like the domino effect of it to now where someone's trying to
She's
commit
16.
suicide, the emotional impact it
She's
puts on the
16.
child.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it. It's not that serious at the end of the day. That's what you really want to be like. It's not just it's
Yeah.
not.
She ended up missing like probably like a few months of school because of that situation because they were suggesting that she be removed from the household, but of course the court didn't see it that in that favor, so they put her
Mm,
right back where she at. So
So Nadia said, that's what I hate about the court system. They don't look at the effects of children not having full access to other parents. And I
absolutely.
mean, literally, I'm not saying that I don't have full access because yes, I do live 1,000 miles away, but it's a challenge when it doesn't have to be.
Hmm.
It's a whole, and the only reason why I made you say because she know the backstory to my whole situation. And I mean, I've never shied away of my situation, not going into full detail. But if I ever have to go into full detail, I will because there's no need for me to lie or say something that's not truthful. But it's a challenge when it does not have to be. And I'm glad you brought that up where both parents, because we even talked about this in the group one time, saying um how both parents are equally important to the child, no matter what the situation is. The mother plays a certain role,
Hmm.
daddy plays a certain role, and I mean, even my lady, even when my daughter left, I mean, shit, the day that she was leaving for the summer because she was here for 4 weeks, and the night that she realized that it was gonna be the last night she was gonna see me for a while, it came out, bruh. It,
Hmm.
I mean, I had to hold it in a little bit myself, but my man and his wife said they cried and look, they turned around and cried because it was like snot bubbles coming up. I mean, she was like, it just hit her. Like, I'm not gonna see my daddy for a while, and it hurt me. But in
Mm.
my mind, I gotta stay strong because I feel like I gotta continue to fight to make sure she don't ever have to feel like that no more. I need her to feel like, whenever she wants to see her pop, she should be able to. She shouldn't have to, go through hoops or do anything crazy to see me. But it was just that moment where in my mind I was like, I'm confirming and standing 10 toes down on I gotta stay in my daughter's life and do whatever I can
Yeah.
to be in her life, how little or less it may look like to others. Because other people always look at it and be like, oh, you
You
shouldn't
can't.
you should be doing that.
Let's
You don't
mhm.
even know my situation though.
yeah.
And it's
Let's.
you quick to say what I should be doing. You don't know what I'm doing. And I just sent my sister some stuff today, and she looked at me and gave me the thumbs up because it's like, as a father, you gotta fight. Because for some reason, the court, like Nadia was just saying, they don't acknowledge the importance of the other parent, regardless if it's the father, the child living with the father and the mother can't see her, or vice versa. Because it is some cases where the child is with the father, and the mother want to see the child, but the father like nah. So it is some like that.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
of two people that's like that now. That the father makes the majority of the money. He's the stable parent and
Yes,
don't
he
let the mother see the child at all. I'm like, how's that work, Slim? So
yes.
it definitely go both ways. But Vic, get into um your impact and what you see from these kids. Like what type of impact do you see your work doing with these kids?
So last year, 2022 was our uh, first year implementing the program at the Seed School of DC in Southeast in Ward 7.
Okay.
So we implemented our STEM program, AI, gaming, and coding, and robotics.
Wow.
So
We got a program that we want to do just like that, bro. Wow.
so we implemented it last October, and one of our partners, they had this like a gaming competition where the students were going to be competing with students in, I think it was Brazil, India,
Okay.
and some few states, I think, on the West Coast. So they're competing with a group of diverse students. So we only had these kids for 2 months, and during that competition, which lasted 2 weeks, all of our students ranked. With our highest ranked student was one of our ninth graders. She ranked number 10. Our other student ranked 14th.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
student ranked 24th, and the other
I-
one
like
47th.
like like how many
Wow.
kids though? Like what's the number we thinking about? 100 kids, over 100 kids, 1,000 kids?
Oh, it was definitely over 100 for sure. Yeah.
Wow. Man,
Wow.
DC is special, man.
That is
We just don't we
no,
don't spotlight it though. It's some
that's
special shit going on
awesome.
in DC, man. I
And,
mean, even down here in Broward County, man, even in Florida, man, some special kids down here, man. But we tend to just gravitate to the bullshit. We gravitate to the
I
negativity and I'm
I
just
agree.
I ain't lying. I'm tired of that shit, man. Like I mean, because the
Yeah.
kids see enough of that shit. Why we study, you know, mainstream media? Why we? Oh yeah, I just saw a video. This guy, he did 16 years. Was wrongly convicted.
he got pulled
Had a
over.
traffic stop,
He
and
got
now the trooper shot him dead. Now I watched the video. Cuz did go a little extra.
He
And
was, but I can
he
feel.
went a
I
little extra,
understand
but
because
you
the
know,
police came off. He has already escalated as soon as he got out the police vehicle.
he was
Get
he
out
was
of the
on one. He was
Yeah,
on one.
see
He was
already, see
on
that's
one.
the but that's the part of the problem.
And
See,
so,
that's it.
but even for
over a
me,
speeding
because you
ticket.
all major, but even for me, it makes me feel like when these type of people get out of jail, they're already targeted. To me, that's just how I
Mhm.
feel. Like regardless of what their crime was, this man was locked up, falsely accused, 16 years. He get out a traffic stop. That ends his life. A traffic stop.
That's right. Yeah.
Come on, man.
We could have said, "Sir, you were speeding. Just stay in the car. I'm going to
Let me
write
get your license
That's it.
registration. Get out the car. Get out
Yeah,
the car.
like
Like,
why
bro.
all this is that?
Wow.
you." Yeah, just
It's
trying
that.
to police black bodies, man. Like,
So I do got a question though about the gaming. Do you all require the kids, to have a certain GPA to continue to be involved with the gaming, or how does that work?
well, we do, monitor their grades, but most of the students are, doing good. Of course, we don't want to. If someone is not doing good academically, this is after school programming, so it may be best that you like focus on your academics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
But
it's not necessarily a
yeah,
requirement.
it's not
Okay.
a requirement.
How,
And it's
how
funny
many
because the ninth grader, she went to the principal and she was like, I don't want to do this competition. I never did this before.
Hmm.
She wanted to drop out of the program. He was like,
and
this
this
is
was the girl that
critical.
was number 10?
Number 10, yep.
Wow. How many
Wow.
parents, like what's the what's the what's the impact with the parent? Like, how many parents do you see that's involved, like with their kids?
Now that is difficult because
Woo.
one of our students, he is actually living with foster parents.
Okay.
Hmm.
So I don't even think he knows his biological parents. So, and one of them is disabled. So I never got a chance to meet the parents physically, but one of them did jumped on a Zoom with us one time, and I got to meet his mother. But
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
and he's been through some trauma. He's been abused and everything. So, which is like a lot of these kids that we have in our program, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have some trauma with them.
Hmm.
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
I just think about, just listening to this conversation that we have. I just think about some of the shit that I've been through, and I just be like, man, I might be a little rough around the edges because Angel be like, you rough around the edges, but that's all I know. Like these
Hmm.
kids now, I mean, and I hate to say it this way, but they so fucking babyfied and not really getting what, like, it's nah. Listen, you decide to do this was gonna happen to you. Period. The end. You got two choices. When I was growing up in the 90s, we had three. Now it's two. That's it. And you know what they are. 6 feet or behind bars. That's it.
I have a question for you all though. Do you think sometimes though with these kids that sometimes they may have to go through certain
Absolutely.
things to kind of get the bigger picture of it? Because there's a lot of things you can like try to prevent.
I'm
But
just raising my hand because I'm one of them kids, man.
yeah,
And you
because
think my mother,
at
went
the end
through
of the day, I
all
think
types of programs. I did programs at Suitland. Listen, one time I got arrested. I got arrested and I was allegedly charged with distributing crack cocaine, allegedly, right? I had to go to a drug treatment program to shorten my sentence, right? I'm in the drug treatment program and I'm listening to this lady talk about how she sold all the clothes in her house for crack.
mm,
And she had 3 kids. She sold all their clothes, all her clothes. And I'm talking to the dude like, what am I doing here?
yeah.
I don't do that. But I understood that I'm taking this class because it's supposed to help me. This shit ain't helping me because I got crack in my pocket right now. And when I leave,
See what
I'm
it's
gonna be back on it.
it's that because I think sometimes, and I'm not trying to say that we got to tiptoe around the youth. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that I think sometimes in life, period, some of us have to go through an entire thing to get to a better spot. Because my whole thing is like you can try to prevent the kids, prevent. But I think sometimes like some kids have to come with trauma in order to, like, let's say Victor, like to be in a program like yours, they're going to have that trauma to kind of like get into the program. You know what I mean? Like we can do a lot of, we can try to do a lot of preventing, but I think sometimes in life you gotta go through something to now finally get to okay, now I'm done, like I'm tired of feeling like this. So let me now go this way.
I wish I
You know
wish
what I
I,
mean?
I wish I didn't have to do that. Go ahead, Vic. I just wish I wouldn't have went through some of the stuff that I went through because it affected me wholeheartedly when I finally, as a grown man, went to therapy. Um, and I didn't realize how much it affected me all through my life until I got to that place where I'm literally in my therapy session, whole face full of tears because I'm like thinking like, damn, this is why I react this way. This is why I do
Mm-hmm.
this. This is why I did that. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it was times that I would be disrespectful to my mother or family members and didn't really know why. But now I'm in this therapy session and it's just like, oh damn, this is why I reacted this way. So I mean, I wish I wouldn't have. But then on the flip side, Amechi, I'm glad I did because now I'm in a situation where even with Angel and what she do, when she talked to me about her kids, I feel it. I'm even
Mm-hmm.
like I told her. They had a thing for her birthday where they took the kids to the bowling alley, and I had the opportunity to meet some of her kids. and it was cool. I mean, because I bust their ass in bowling, but that's another story. I bust their ass 174, bust their ass. But um, I got to see him up close and personal, and I came home, I was telling Angel, I said, yeah, I saw this girl. She fresh. She was like, what's her name? Oh yeah, she fresh, and and I'm getting to see him, but I'm thinking, did these kids, again, the word kids, they're kids.
Yeah, they're kids.
And they're looking for that guidance from somebody to tell them, no, that's not good. Don't do this. Don't do that. But then, like you said, Macy, some of these kids gotta smack that wall a couple times
I
before they get it. And
know.
that's the sad
Yeah.
part, because even with Angel and them, they trying, don't do this, go to your job, do your interview, do this, and they don't want to do it. But then when they got the police on their ass, now it was, oh, I need your help.
See, one thing too, like when you start understanding how the brain operate, when you're in flight mode, this the frontal cortex of your brain that does all of your reasoning and your best critical thinking stuff like that, it shuts down because when you're in trouble or something is going down, you don't got time to think. You got to duck.
You gotta react. Yep.
So a lot of kids make decisions, not in that mode where they're using this part of the brain where they can be like, all right, if I do this, damn, I might get 10 years. No, they just go do. Like, and then
Yeah, see what you're
you
saying.
sit in that cell, you
Yeah,
got
you
time to think in the world.
And it was a great example. I remember listening to Wallow, $1 million worth of game, right? And he was talking to a youngin. He was like, he said he was in jail already. Him and the youngin was like on the yard or whatever. He was like, what you in here for? So the youngin told him. He was like, how long did it take? The youngin was like, what you mean? He was like, how long did it take for you to commit that crime? The youngin was like, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes. He said, so you mean to tell me it only took 5 minutes to change your entire life? Now you in here doing 30 years and it only took 5 minutes? I sat back in my chair. I was like, Jesus Christ. When you think about it that way, it's like, damn. 30,
And
it only took 5 minutes? Woo! That's something to think about.
another thing that they don't ever think about or they haven't been presented is it costs to be a criminal. Like, how much does it actually cost?
Yeah.
Add up all the fees.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? You add up being on probation and parole, having to pay every time you go and see your PO. How much legal fees, court fees, restitution, all that stuff.
It costs to be wow. Never thought about it like that.
I mean, and even if you ain't locked up, if you get a DUI and they decide that you need that little thing in your car, that breathing thing, you gotta pay for that.
Yeah,
You gotta pay for the installation. You gotta pay for the monthly report. You gotta pay for, and then when it's time for you to take it out, then you gotta pay to get it taken out. It's
pay
all
for the
money.
classes.
It's
I mean,
all
like,
money.
I've been through it, so I know.
Yeah, that's how I know. Me too, nigga.
I'm like, hold up, 5,000. I'm starting all this stuff. I'm like,
I'm one time I'm in the car, I'm driving, and the thing go off, and I'm blowing in it. My baby in the back, Daddy, can I blow in it? No, girl, sit down. I'm throwing birds, and I got this damn thing in my car. I'm like, man, this is some bullshit. And I remember one morning I'm brushing my teeth, and I'm just forgetful about them saying don't use mouthwash. So I use some mouthwash one day. I'm blowing that joint like, I'm like, I'm late to work, man. Come on. I'm blowing.
That's an extra money.
I'm like, yeah, this shit blowing. I'm calling my boss. I'm like, man, the motherfucking car won't start. He told me what's wrong. I said, man, I'm blowing in this food. He like, bro, because I didn't tell my job. He like, you doing what? I said, let me call you back. Man. Man. Man.
Yeah, I got some stories, man.
I just love to hear about organizations and people in general, and they don't have to work for an organization, don't have to be, directors. And I'm just want to know from you, do you think it would be a bigger impact to the community if more people got involved to volunteer and get involved with community-based organizations?
Absolutely. Even the young people, man, they need to, You know what I'm saying? I know some schools they recommend you have to do a certain amount of community service.
Hours. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess I wanna pick a fight. I mean, I'm talking about these parents, the adults,
Oh
the ones
yeah.
on TV talking about and this, that, and the third, and these kids is stupid and they crazy and da, 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 da. And I think back sometimes, I'm like, well, when we was 13, what the fuck was we doing? When we was 14 years old, what was we doing? Why we calling these kids stupid when some of the shit that
When
we
it,
did, we knew we shouldn't have been doing. But when they
mhm.
do it, it's they crazy. Like, nah,
I,
hold fast.
you know, that's
Hold
always
fast.
my argument. You know, that's always my argument. Like a lot of parents like forget
Like,
like how
what?
it was to be young
Come
and
on.
dumb and just
And I'm watching this video, and this dude is literally cussing the parents out. He was like, "Where your son? Where your daughter? You don't even know where they at, do you? But you out here talking about the community and what they supposed to be doing. You don't even know where your goddamn kids at." I'm just like,
mm,
oh
mm,
boy. And the parents is they beefing. They yakety yak back at him. But when you think about it, it's like, well, what are you really yakking at? Because the key question he just asked you is, where's your kids? And you don't even know. So
Or
what's
you
the
know
beef?
when you see a lot of just complaining on social media, but don't provide no solutions. Number one,
Nothing.
or number two,
Nothing.
they don't support organizations that's out here doing the work.
Exactly.
But you
it's
complain.
ooh,
Exactly.
it's
And,
that.
and
It's
and it
that.
don't cost no money, bro. All it costs is a little bit of your time. That's
Wow.
it. That's it. I'm a certified volunteer in the Broward County school system down here, right? And they send me emails, and it's hard sometimes because I got a not crazy work schedule, but a lot of times when they want volunteers, it's during the times that I got to be at work. And I told myself next month, if I see an email and they need help to volunteer, I'm taking on work and I'm gonna just go and volunteer because I feel a certain type of way when I do it. Like when I interact with these kids, even if they little kids, even if they 4 and 5 and 6, I got a 9-year old. I remember when she was 4 years old, how I had to talk to her, and you know what I'm saying. It just makes me feel a certain type of way because I remember when I was a youngster, and if I had somebody that could speak life into me, I probably wouldn't be on this live with y'all now because I would be a different person, which
Mm,
God wanted me to, be in this situation. But if I had somebody speaking life to me when I was 10, 12, 13 years old, that would have meant everything to me. Because when I was going through my shit, I ain't had nobody to talk to. I couldn't even talk to my brother because it was like, oh, what you, man, you crying? Or, back then, if you was crying, you was sucking. I remember Nadia. I mean, we had a conversation one night, and Nadia was like, beating our kids was part of the problem because you ain't supposed to beat the shit out your kids. Like,
mm.
damn, people like comedians like the joke, like, remember your mother was beating you and she be talking to you. Didn't I tell you? That's too much though.
Let me ask
That's I mean, because my mother used to beat me so much. It was times that when she would beat me, I would just start looking at her like, look, man, you got your point across. Now you doing too much. And it was in my head. I was thinking that to myself, but I never reacted that way. But in my head, it was times I was like, man, look, man, you doing too much, Joe. And then when you get them welts on your legs, and you wake up the next morning, them Jones, man, you be like, man. But I'm thankful for those welts now because I can think back and remember what she was trying to do. But think
Mm.
about it. What was her parents doing? And then what was their parents doing?
Yeah,
It's just
so
a generational,
yeah,
it's just a generational thing. And I'm
yeah,
hoping that we can get out of that. And like more organizations like yourself, man, Victor, and us,
yes,
and just try
yes.
to bring something back to these kids and let them know we care about you, man. We don't want you in these streets, man. We don't want you to grow up like we did. We all got stories. And the thing that I don't like the most about the kids is if if it don't make sense to them, like if they can't see it visually, then they
Mm,
like, oh man, whatever. You an old nigga, you ain't talking about nothing. But as soon as I start talking about how I might have shot a motherfucker, or I stabbed the nigga to death, or I did, for real, son, you did that? That shit ain't cool, son. That shit is not cool, man. Like that song, Never Seen a Man Cry Till I Seen a Man Die. That's some real shit.
mm,
And some of these kids have never witnessed that. And if they did, then they got some PTSD or they fucked up in their head if they did that and they just getting up like everything hunky dory. Nah, that shit'll fuck with
Yeah.
you. You do some extreme shit like that, that shit will fuck with you, Joe. For real. Like
Yeah.
real talk. So I don't know. I mean, Vic, I don't know, man. I love what you're doing, man. That's sum it up. I mean, when I looked at your site, I was just like, damn, they is really damn. I mean, in DC, they need it more than I'm not saying
Yes.
more than Florida or more than
But we
Detroit because I know there's other places doing it. But since I'm
yeah.
the 3 stars, 2 bars, that's where I'm from. So I love to see people trying to get back to these kids because they need it, man. Especially our kids, because like you say, I be seeing some of our kids on TV, and when they talk, I be looking at them like, what? Like, what? What did you say? It don't be making sense to me.
But I want to be honest, and I know we gotta wrap it up soon. But I just want to make this one point about DC and even the school system that was it the standings came out I think a couple of weeks ago, and they did 50 states plus DC, and DC ranked like 48. I mean, and I know DC for years has been on the low point, but they were just saying how like 50 some kids graduate.
It's terrible.
It is.
It's Listen, Amazing.
It is.
When I graduated from Ballou in 1997, I'm just estimating. I want to say it was at least 200 of us.
Mm.
At least 200. They recently said that I don't know if it was Anacostia or
It
I don't know
was
which one it was. Was it Anacostia?
Yeah.
It was only like 50 kids.
Yeah, it was real low.
I was like, what? What?
But you know
Like
what?
the teachers, the administrators, the security, everybody should be ashamed. Like
But
that's
DC's
not
been
the
like
kids'
that for
fault.
some
That's
years.
y'all fault.
Yeah.
But
Y'all
it's
dropped the ball on these kids, man.
a lot of
I'm
different
I'm
levels.
happy and fortunate that when we went to school, we had teachers that really cared
Yeah,
about.
but DC was
Come here.
low when we were in school though too, Kevin. It was low
Yeah,
like that too. People weren't
yeah,
graduating like that.
So
yeah.
we had one student that joined our after school program. She probably came like the first 2 or 3 classes. Then we didn't see her for
Mm.
like months.
Mm.
Then she came back when we had a field trip. She came that one time for the field trip. Then she disappeared again. So when we reached out to the principal. The principal was like, "Well, she's not even coming to school." So what really was happening was it wasn't that she didn't want to be in the program or she didn't want to be at school. It was because her parent made her stay home to watch her siblings.
Wow.
So I
Wow.
raised my siblings too, so I kind of understand how that feels. Like my
Mm-hmm.
childhood was cut short because of that.
Yeah.
I had to drop out of UDC after like I think I had like 60 credits. But
Mm.
both of
To,
my
to finish.
grandparents had a stroke at the same time.
Wow.
One passed away. So
Wow.
I mean, and
So,
like you said before we came on here, life be what? Life be life, man.
like that.
Life be
And
life.
I think those are factors that they need to put in place too, rather than like, oh, the teachers aren't doing their job, people ain't doing. It's even small things like that. Like, no, it's a sibling taking care of their younger siblings, or
Amazing. But
something
guess
like
what? But
that.
guess what though?
You know,
I got Angel sitting right here. When we was in Baloo, and she can be attested to what I'm getting ready to say. When I was in Baloo, Baloo had a full staff clinic and they had a full staff nursery.
I think it still has that, and in the
Fully
night
staffed.
school.
So what I'm saying is, if it works, or if you had money, or if somebody thought of this when we was in school, why can't somebody be thinking about this now? There's no It's I know a lot of females that was in high school that had multiple kids and
Absolutely.
still graduated because
No,
they had a nursery in the school
the,
that would watch their kids for them.
But Kevin, these are the things that this is the stuff that the city needs. See, this is the stuff that the city, rather
it's
than trying to prevent, well, let's prevent pregnancy. I mean, which preventing young, teen pregnancy, that's good. But how are the teens that now have kids? What are we going to do with those teens?
But let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's do what's already been working.
That's already been done.
lack of communication. They should have a social worker at the school that can put them, in touch with the right agency and resources to be able to give them the wraparound services.
Agree. I agree.
no communication is like, and a lot of stuff. It's programs out there that people don't even know about because they just think, oh, just put everything online. Everybody don't have internet. Everybody not tech savvy,
Right.
so everybody not gonna
Yeah.
find stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I say it
Yep.
was a no brainer for us to bring you on because I mean
Yeah.
your phone number, your website is in the description. But if you want to share all your info, man, please
Yeah.
share all the people your information. Give them your website so they know how to find you, man. Because I'm pretty sure we're gonna lock in when we get off here anyway.
Oh, for sure. So you can visit our website. It's www.flybynature.org.
And
Yes.
give them that phone number just in case they don't, like you said, they don't have a website. Give them that phone number.
202-441-6317. That's our
And
cell
and
number.
I see a couple people chiming in late. You know, I see Elena, that's my girl. Elena, man, Elena go back from elementary school. But man, I listen, man, I'm just grateful that we got a little bit of your time. I mean, like I say, it's Thursday night. I know the football game on, but I feel like some stuff is more important than other stuff,
Mm-hmm.
football and all this other stuff. And so I'm just hoping that at some point, like I say, when we get off of here, we can lock in. Hey, bro, that's right. That's my boo right there. So I'm hoping that at some point we can lock in and, ask some questions, pick your brain on some stuff that we could be doing even at home. We got a lot of ideas, but we just trying to pick people's brains that's already doing stuff, already,
Mm-hmm.
established, just so we can make sure we doing stuff the right way. That's it. Like we don't like, and even if you need volunteers or partnership. Like
Mm-hmm.
I got a Facebook group that's actually streaming this now. It's over 1,000 people, and sometimes I know it's people out there that want to volunteer. I remember 2 Christmases ago, I asked a few people to come to our Toys and Tots drive. It was like 7 people that came from my Facebook group that I didn't even think was going to show up. So it's people out there that want to do it. They just don't know, you
Yeah,
know,
where to go and who to.
where to go. So that's why I said share your website, your phone number. If anybody contact me, I would definitely, uh, give them your information. But I mean, I'm just glad you was able to come on, man. And I mean, I know we didn't get into everything, but I mean, shit. I mean, if you grew up in DC, the four quadrants in the area, southeast, southwest, northeast, northwest. PTSD is like I mean, at 45, I'm happy that I was able to at some point to be able to sit down and talk to a professional. And this lady was like Crystal was deep. Like she was like, I know you here to talk about this, but I want you to go back, like take me back to elementary school. I had to sit back in
Mm-hmm.
my chair for a second. It was like, you sure? She was like, yeah. And when I started letting go, cuz she it was time she had to take a break. She was like, hey, I need to take a break. Cause I was like, am I doing something wrong? She was like, no, I just need to go outside and take a break. And that's the thing about therapists too. They people too. So
Yeah.
therapists got therapists too.
Oh, for sure.
And some of the shit that we coming in with, I know we be throwing all types of shit at their ass. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's crazy, man. But I mean,
Recommend Dr. Rita Walker. She's a psychologist. Her book is The Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health.
oh wow.
Mm. Okay.
Okay, you might have to put that. You might have to put that in the chat, bro, because I might need to get that
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah. Look at me trying
Yeah. Get that note right there, because for me, I want to try to do whatever I can, to help, not even just kids, just people in general. Like it's adults out there that got kids, and the
Mm.
the kids is causing them depression because they don't know what to do with them. Like it's real out here, man. It's real. So I mean, I need one of them T-shirts too. So I'm gonna lock in with you regardless, man. Just you know what I'm saying? Because I like to promote, man. Like I mean, people are like, oh, you
Yes.
get paid for that, man. Fuck that. I just want people to know what's out here, man. I mean, I even went in my mentor group down here and told them to watch online. So maybe they watch and maybe they not. But I mean, I actually want them to come on here so they can talk about the stuff that they do down here in Florida. Because I'm like, guess what?
Yeah.
even though y'all in Florida, it don't matter.
It
Let
doesn't.
people
It
know
doesn't matter.
what's going on. I mean, it might be somebody that might have a family member that might live in the area, and they might can plug their kids in. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you just never know. You just never know, man. So I mean, you got any last like thoughts? Something that you want to share to the people? Anything you want to let people know before we get off?
Yeah, I would say I would give parents to be an advocate for your child and make sure that if it's something that you want to see in the school environment, whether it's a programs or resources, reach out to the principal and
Oh
voice
man,
your, share your thoughts on what you want to see, what programs you want.
and don't be
Yeah,
quiet and don't just be
I
at the
like
parent
that.
teacher conference in the
Yeah,
back like this.
yeah, because you got to be the change that you want to see. Look, you got to be
Ooh,
the change that you
ooh,
want to see. So,
ooh, ooh. And matey, guess what? This school down here is called Coconut Creek High School. That's why I'm connected
oh,
to. And do you know who said that? Do you know who said that?
who?
Just think about a prolific person that say prolific stuff.
Look at me like.
Gandhi.
No, yeah, no, that's what. No, that's what
Be
I.
the
That's what I got.
change you
Oh God,
want to see. And it's up
that's
on
where I got
they
it from.
it's
That
up
is
on
where I
their
got it
wall.
from.
I was like,
Change.
damn, that's dope. And I mean, if you think about it, that's really
That's
it. For
no,
the
that's where I got
kids,
the
the
statement from.
adults,
Yes,
everybody, be the change you want to see.
you want to see.
I
So
do have one resource because I know in Florida, there's a lot going on in Florida with trying to remove Black History.
Mm.
mhm.
I put in the chat. It's this is the largest Africana studies platform in the world. I
Okay.
mean, we got people from all over the diaspora.
Okay.
Oh wow.
'Cause you
Okay.
gotta learn. We it's a lot
Okay.
that they didn't teach us, and we can't. You don't get your history from Hollywood and movies. We
What?
gotta
Mm.
you gotta like listen to that mouth to ear knowledge.
Wait.
Yeah.
So now it ain't Christopher Columbus Day. Now it's Indigenous People Day.
No, now it's indigenous. Yeah, it's been like that for some time though. Yeah, as it should be. I mean, what did Christopher Columbus really do? Nothing.
Nothing. He got lost.
Got lost
He
and
got lost and bumped
discovered something that
Atlanta.
was
And was
already
like, oh,
discovered.
what's this?
That. Ugh.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And Matey, what's final thoughts, Matey? Your final thoughts.
Well, my final thought is that I'm so happy, Victor, you came on and you did this. I am, I'm just I love everything that you're doing. I love the organization. I love the nonprofit. Definitely keep up the good work. And like what Kevin said, like maybe, as a partner, partnering, with you and
Christopher Columbus
doing
was a
whatever.
god.
You know, I just feel like a
Oh,
beautiful organization. So keep it up and and thanks for doing and then thanks for, coming on.
absolutely, bro. I mean, and again, I so when I first started this, I had 5 men on. We talked about, stuff, that triggered men and mental health and stuff like that. So sometimes I have, what they call them, panel discussions. So I may reach out to you, and just
Oh
see if you want to
yeah.
jump on. Because
Oh,
sometimes it's good for
That's what's up.
parents to hear from organizations and professionals like yourself to know, what's going on. You know what I mean? Because it is resources out here. Just get connected. I mean, my final thought is just get connected. Don't talk
Mm,
about it. Be about it.
mhm.
Get connected. Like stop talking about what's going on and see if you can. I mean, if you're a professional, barber, lawyer,
mm-hmm.
somebody that do tents, what these kids want to know how to make money. That's all
True.
they care about. That's all they care about. So if you can show, I got a homie and he from DC, but he in Maryland. Sequoia Heating and Air Conditioning. Man, my man turned his heating and air conditioning company into a school where he is now
Wow.
teaching adult males and females how to do HVAC, and they getting jobs. And he was like, Kevin, I'm changing people's lives. I was like, Slim,
Yes.
dope. And now he got his own car service. They now cleaning out the vents. I mean, I'm like, cuz you
That's
just
something
don't.
my brother he's incarcerated coming up on 15 years. That was something he said he's interested into HVAC.
Man. And I mean,
Mm.
I interviewed him on on YouTube, and it got like 300 or 400 views. But I thought it was it. I mean, I grew up. I grew. This dude was my brother age, so I knew this dude, and so to see what he doing now, knowing I know where he came from, I'm like, yeah,
It's
you doing some extraordinary shit that ain't nobody talking about. I need to come and interview you. So I went to his location. We sat down, I interviewed him, talked about what they doing. And I'm talking about from when I interviewed him 2.5, 3 years ago. I mean, he has surpassed what he even started. I'm like, cuz when God see what you doing,
mm,
he can step
mm,
in and open that thing up
mm,
wider
Yeah.
than
all the
you know what
way.
I'm saying? So
Make sure you share me his information so I can spread that
I would
information.
do that. I would send you
Yeah.
his whole little flyer because he taking classes, all year round. You know what I mean? And I mean it's changed. These kids, I mean, they got their dreadlocks and they, you know what I'm saying, but you see them months later, they done cut their hair off, they got their uniforms on, they getting money. Cause you can't walk around looking crazy and get a job. You can't do it. These kids with the tattoos on their face, I'm like, I'm not saying you can't get a job, because that's gonna be rough. You got these teardrops. You think these companies don't know what teardrops mean? They know. They hip. Oh, thank you for your resume. We'll keep it on file. You know what that means? You're not getting a job. That's what
Hmm.
that means. You're not getting a job. So, yeah, man. So I appreciate you coming through, man. I will share that
Yes,
information with you.
absolutely.
I will continue to share your information in our group.
Mm-hmm.
If you on Facebook, let me know because I can put you in our group because we got a couple.
Yes.
We have a couple black. We have a few black therapists in our group that love to, have resources for kids and adults and stuff like that. So I'll make sure I keep you connected that way. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all coming through. Y'all know what time it is. This is 6th Man. So we do on Thursday nights. I mean, sometimes we ratchet, but tonight we was on some community.
Awesome.
You know what I'm saying? We gonna sign off. Victor, don't sign off. We should have told you this beforehand,
Oh, for
but
sure.
we
Yeah.
end it, but then we get a little chat in after we finish. So I appreciate everybody coming in. I see Troy just came in late. Nadia, as always, I appreciate you. Elena, thank you. D Martinez, I see y'all out in Cali doing y'all thing. D, you think I ain't seen you? I know I ain't been on Facebook, but I see you out there. Let me see who else.
West Coast.
Yeah, they out there doing big things. Darius, my man Darius is in the chat. And yeah, I think that's it for right now for what I can see.
That's
They
the
don't
second.
really show me. They don't really show me everybody in the chat. When I get on, they be like, "Man, you ain't see me, man. I ain't see you, man. I ain't see you, man." So look, man. God bless. Good night. I want y'all to have a good weekend. And again, if y'all like this content, man, like, subscribe, get all of that
Mm-hmm.
stuff in, man. Help us, boost up our ratings. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, we don't really do nothing crazy. We just do some regular shit, man. Look, you see, I'm in Florida. You see what I got back here, right?
Mm.
I'm in Florida, man. They be like, "What's that, man?" Don't worry about it. That's some.
Oh, the ma-
Don't worry about that, man. Hey, I'm southeastern Washingtonian. I don't even know if that's a real word. I'm in
oh God.
southeastern Washingtonian. Is that real? That might not be real. That might not be real.
Washingtonian? Yes, that's a real
No,
word.
no, no. Like if somebody asks me where I'm from, I'll be like, I'm southeastern
Yeah,
Washingtonian.
yeah, yeah, you doing too much. You doing way too much.
Oh man, so man, look, it's the 6th Man, Amechi. Hey, look, and also at the bottom, if y'all see that ticker, man, please go to the Amechi effect, man. I'm trying to get her back on her shit. She
I
be
know.
playing games.
I
Hey, Vic,
know. I
get
did.
her
I've
on
been
her shit, man.
lagging.
She be saying some shit sometimes that she don't even be knowing. It be hitting, but I watched her YouTube. She had 3 videos on her YouTube channel. And one of them, she was kind of just talking about her journey. 10 minutes in, I'm folding my arms. I'm like, dang, I don't even know this. I mean, but you just never know. You just never know what people got for you until you dive in. And I know people
Yeah.
want to see the shorts. They want to see 2 minutes, 3 minutes, but you're not going to get the full picture in 2 to 3 minutes. You got to,
True.
you know what I mean? You got to dive in, man. You
True.
got to dive in. So, Vic, appreciate you. Amazing as always. Appreciate y'all. I'm glad y'all came through. Man, we out, man. Y'all be safe, man. Be safe on the weekend, man. Don't do nothing we won't do, man. Y'all be safe, man. Say